Welcome to Fantastic Actor Questions. I am author and casting director Sharon Bialy.
Hi, Sharon. You've worked on procedurals, sci-fi series, dramas, TV movies, and more. Is there a particular genre you find exceptionally fun to cast?
Allie, I like that question. I like whatever I just finished the best. And honestly, if I could do anything, I'd just cast musicals. But as most actors who do theater understand, you can't just do that and earn a living. So there's not a particular genre that I like within the television. And you know what? Casting directors get typecast just like actors. I started in comedy, but now I am well known for my drama work and I can't do comedy. So what I do is I steal all those funny people and I put them in my dramas.
With your successful show, do you consider actors with little to no experience and are non-union if he or she has the look of what the director and producer are looking for?
Joan, that is a great question, especially for the shows that I cast. If you watch Breaking Bad, and if you don't, you should, you will see so many actors that you have never heard of or seen before. One of the reasons is we're serving the vision of Vince Gilligan and his staff. And he wants to believe that those are real people in New Mexico. So we tend to bring in a lot of new actors, and we usually hire actors with less experience than the most experienced actors, and particularly on that show.
Say I see you in the supermarket. What's the best way to introduce myself? Or is it appropriate at all? Thanks.
John, that's a good question. And I think if you feel you want to say hello in the supermarket, you may come up and say, "Hi, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm a fan of your work," as you would with any celebrity. I don't think you should come up to a casting director at the gym when they're sweating, which is why when I'm at the gym, I never tell anybody what I do. I usually say I'm a neurophysicist, and they do not talk to me. So I think you're okay at the supermarket, but probably that's it.
What is the absolute best way for an actor with no reel and no representation to self-submit for projects?
Michael, you're not alone. There are a lot of wonderful actors who do not have agents or managers. So the best way to submit yourself is through Actors Access, because we look at that on Breakdown. If it's a pilot, you can send a hard copy picture to the office and try and get into a play, because believe it or not, many of the casting directors do go to the theater and pull people in that way. In my office, we do it all the time.
I have often received very positive feedback in many of my auditions. However, I sometimes wonder about the sincerity of that feedback, especially when I do not receive a callback. Could you please help me understand how I should interpret such feedback? Is it typically sincere?
That's a good one, Chad. I can only answer for myself. I can't speak for other casting directors. I think most casting directors will say thank you. And I think they should, whether you did a good job or not. However, if you're getting specific feedback about how good your work was, then you should take that in and believe it and keep going. You may not get the job, but if you keep going back in for that casting director, then you can believe that they were being truthful with you. I don't think that many casting directors are going to take a long time to give good feedback when it's not true. I certainly wouldn't. And I just can't imagine somebody would spend that long giving you positive, good feedback if it wasn't true. They're too busy to do that. So what I would say is accept the good feedback, and if you keep going back into the office, you've done your job. You're doing great.
Is it a good idea to be bold when approaching casting directors, and producers, like when Jack Black, before he was famous, approached George Lucas and asked him to direct his music video?
Laura, I think that depends on your definition of bold. If you're a bold person, it's okay to be bold. If you're not, then it's out of character. And there are different definitions of bold. I mean, if Jack Black asked George Lucas to direct his video, he probably really had that opportunity present for George Lucas to do. So I don't know if it's bold or brave. And I think there's a difference. I think you can be brave, but I think bold can also become obnoxious, and you have to be careful. It's a fine line.